The third aspect of homeostasis is thermoregulation. Therm means temperature and regulate means to control it. So here is a definition that the maintenance of body temperature within the suitable limits so that the body can function normally. The normal range of temperature is about 10 to 35 degrees centigrade for most of the organisms, while endotherms have a range of about 36 to 43 degrees centigrade. Endotherms are mammals and birds, and mammals have a range of about 36 to 38 degrees centigrade, while birds have a range of about 41 to 43 degree centigrade. Thermoregulation in plants. There are two extremes of temperature which affects plants. The first is low temperature and the second is high temperature. Low temperature affects plants in two ways. The first mechanism is that if this is a cell membrane and a cell membrane consists of phospholipids and proteins, low temperature affects the lipid nature and causes the lipids to become crystallized. As the lipids become crystallized, the fluid nature of the cell membrane becomes lost and it becomes solid, so that the solutes present outside the cell cannot enter and the solutes present inside the cell cannot exit from the cell. In this way, it alters the transport of solutes across the membrane. The second phenomena is that if this is a cell, the low temperature causes the protoplasm to shrink and causes crystal formation. These crystals causes the cell to burst as they perforate the cell membrane. It is just like that if a balloon has needles inside of it. So low temperature affects the fluid nature of the cell membrane. Membrane lipids locked into crystalline structures, and this alters the transport of solutes across the membrane. The second mechanism is that the freezing temperatures causes ice crystal formation inside the cytosol. So crystal formation in the protoplasm perforates membranes, resulting in the killing of a cell. To cope up this situation, a plant increases the composition of unsaturated fatty acids, that is oils, which prevent crystal formation inside the cell membrane. The second is composition of cell solutes is changed so that the ice crystals are formed in the cell wall rather than in the cytosol. The second extreme is high temperature, and a high temperature is more dangerous than low temperature, and it causes the proteins to denature, particularly enzymes, and as the enzymes are denatured, the vital functions of the cell are lost and the body will eventually die. So to cope up this situation, plants speed up transpiration, that is the phenomena of evaporation, as evaporation is a cooling process, and at 40 degrees centigrade, this 0 is degree, plants synthesize heat shock proteins which prevent proteins to denature, and also some plants have shiny cuticle to reflect light, small leaf surface area to absorb less heat, or wilting, drooping of the leaves to avoid overheating. This figure is showing drooping of the leaves called wilting. Now temperature regulation in animals. Organisms gain heat by two sources, externally or internally. Externally directly from the sunlight or indirectly from the environment, while internally by the metabolism and muscular contractions. Organism loses heat by conduction through direct collisions, by convection, usually in liquids, and radiation and evaporation. Animals are of two types on the basis of their thermal properties, and on the basis of thermal properties there are cold-blooded animals and warm-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals are called poikilotherms, while the warm-blooded animals are also called homeotherms. So cold-blooded animals are those animals whose body temperature changes with the change of environment temperature, and the examples are invertebrates, and in vertebrates these are the fishes, amphibians and reptiles. And the warm-blooded animals are those animals whose body temperature does not change with the change of environment. Examples are the vertebrates, include birds and mammals. But there is a problem that many poikilotherms, cold-blooded animals, maintain their body temperature constant, while many homeotherms do not have constant body temperature. So to define the actual phenomena, These two terms, the cold-blooded animals and warm-blooded animals, are changed into ectotherms and endotherms. So, ectotherms are those animals which absorb heat from their environment. The example is lizards basking in the sun. This is the figure of a lizard which is basking in the sun and obtaining heat from the environment inside their bodies. While endotherms are those animals which generate their own heat, and the examples are mammals and birds. So there is another term called heterotherms. Hetero means different and therm means heat. So animals which generate heat of varying degrees so that their body temperature is kept in the wide range, they are called heterotherms. Examples are the bats and hummingbirds. This is the figure of a hummingbird, and these birds are the smallest in bird species.